Dear Math Teacher, welcome to the Math4Teacher application. This video will demonstrate how you can easily and quickly create a test or interactive PDF test from our question database. Additionally, you will learn how to generate a test in HTML format, which can be used with the Math4U application. This tool not only allows you to assign tests but also enables you to receive solutions from your students. Lastly, you will learn how to create a test in two variants, A and B. To begin, please log in. On the top right of the application's main page, you will find a lock symbol. Click on it and then enter your username and password. If this is your first time logging in, select the option Register, where you create a username and provide your email address. After registering, you will receive two emails. The first email confirms your registration request, and the second email contains a link to the login page. Please note that your account will not be automatically validated. An administrator will handle the validation, which may take a few hours. We appreciate your patience during this process. Once your account is validated, you will be rewarded with a free account that offers vast possibilities for creating tests and written assignments. Now, let's assume you have already logged in and have access to the two main sections of the application, Database and Tests Overview. In the top bar, you can select your preferred language from the options available: English, Czech, Spanish, Polish, and Slovak. As we have chosen English as the primary language, it will be set up as the default language after each login. Let's proceed by selecting English and explore the database. Here, you can browse questions, organize them into your favorite folders, and select questions for tests and written assignments. The other section, named Tests Overview, allows you to manage previously created tests and generate them in various output formats, such as PDF or HTML. This section will be covered in the second video. Let's take a look at the question database. Most likely, you already know the topic for which you want to create the test. So, initially, you will set the main topic and subtopic. You can find the division of the curriculum into these topics, subtopics, and parts in the manual available on the website. For instance, let's select the topic Geometry, with the subtopic being Volume and Surface Area Formulas, Part 1. As you can gather from the topic overview, this section comprises exercises to practice the volumes and surfaces of a cube and a cuboid. In front of you, you see the first two questions, presented together in one frame. These questions are referred to as twin questions or twins. Twin questions are pairs of questions that share similar content and difficulty level, making them suitable for creating two test variants, Variant A and Variant B. Within our database, we have approximately 2,000 pairs of such twin questions. Questions that are not part of a shared frame are referred to as single questions, meaning they do not have a paired twin question. If your aim is to generate two test versions, you can easily filter out these twin questions to meet your specific requirements. As you review the questions, you may notice a yellow letter E in the upper left corner of some questions. This indicates the so-called easy questions. These questions can be solved mentally, without the need for pen and paper. Currently, our database contains approximately 2,000 such questions. They can be used, for example, for a quick curriculum review at the beginning of a class. The last option for filtering questions is called Favorites. Here, you can filter questions that you have marked as favorites and included in folders such as Homework or Competition. However, you need to create these folders before you can use them. Let's explore how you can set them up and configure them. In the blue bar, you'll find an icon of a gear wheel that grants you access to the settings for your folders of favorites. Besides managing My Favorites, you can also configure the topics you wish to use. By selecting specific topics, only those will appear in the drop-down menu of the database. So, if you have no plans to teach complex numbers and differential calculus in the near future, you can deselect these topics. This will enhance the clarity of the drop-down menu. Of course, you can always change these settings at any time. Moving on to the second part of the page, you have the option to create folders for your favorite questions. Our database currently holds nearly 6,000 questions, each differing in various aspects, such as difficulty level, length of calculation, and the type of approach required. Some questions are more drill-oriented, while others may demand a creative idea, and so on. The usage of questions in teaching can vary based on their type. Certain questions will be well suited for homework assignments, while others may be better for individual work during class or for quick reviews at the beginning of a lesson. Additionally, you can select more challenging questions that are suitable for gifted students, perhaps to use in a seminar. There are plenty of possibilities to categorize questions, and that's precisely what the My Favorites section is for. You have the flexibility to create up to 10 folders for your preferred questions. For each folder of favorite questions, you'll need to come up with a name and select a unique icon. As mentioned earlier, you can choose names based on the question's usage, such as homework, seminar, test, quick review, competition, or you may opt for names based on difficulty, such as easy, difficult, or any other preferred criteria. Once you've set up these folders, the settings will remain active for all subsequent logins and work with the database. Of course, you can change that at any time as well. Now, let's return to the database. Once you've set the names and icons for the folders of favorites, these icons will be displayed with each question. By clicking on the corresponding icon, you can assign the question to the respective folder. Subsequently, you'll have the ability to filter questions based on these favorites. And now, finally, let's move on to creating a test. We will start by selecting questions for the test. For each question, in the upper right corner, you will see a checkbox labeled to test. Simply click this checkbox to select the question. Once you've chosen all the questions you need, click the blue button, Create Test, to access the test setup form. Here, you can review the selected questions, remove some, change the order, add new ones, and enter a title for the test. Once created, the test is saved in the list of tests. It's like a test definition, from which various outputs can be generated, for example, a PDF test designed for direct printing, an interactive PDF test, or an HTML test that students will solve in the new Math4U application. We will cover all these options in the next video. Lastly, here's a useful tip for creating two test variants. If you wish to use twin questions, check the To Test box for only one question of the pair. The question you check will be included in variant A, while the second question of the pair will automatically be added to variant B. Suppose you decide to check both twin questions. In that case, both will be included in both test variants, in variant A and variant B. Similarly, if you select a so-called single question that doesn't have a twin, this question will also be included in both test variants. Now, let's take a look at an example of two test variants in PDF format designed for printing, an interactive PDF test where students can click on the answers, and two variants of the HTML test that students can access through the Math4U application. You'll learn more about this application in the next video.